Number 1. Secrets of Mongolia's last nomads. If one day you had to live in a place with no shops or roads and only see a sea of green grass stretching out, survival would not be simple. However, that is the daily life of millions of Mongolians, rare communities that still maintain the nomadic lifestyle that has existed for millennia. They live in gur tents with wooden frames covered with felt, light, and flexible, very convenient for moving with their herds. Many families can even set up a gur in just about an hour thanks to a standardized assembly process that has been practiced for many generations. The gur tent is not only durable, but also regulates the temperature naturally. The felt layer keeps warm in winter and cools in summer, making it an ideal home on the harsh steppe. Nomads live by raising horses, cows, sheep, goats, and camels. In the northern forest, they also raise reindeer for milk and transportation. Some tribes also make cheese from horse or camel milk, which is considered a source of energy for long journeys. They set up seasonal tents near rivers and lakes in the summer and move down to sheltered valleys when winter comes. In nomadic culture, livestock, especially horses, are the most valuable assets. This country has nearly 5 million horses, despite a population of only 3.5 million, so it is very common for children to ride horses on the grasslands. Horses are also the center of the Nadam festival, where children compete in long-distance horse riding up to tens of kilometers. They rely on traditional experience, using mountains, rivers, and terrain as landmarks to find addresses. News between communities is passed on through constantly moving herders. Today, mobile signals and Wi-Fi have reached many remote areas, making communication more convenient. Many people also use location applications to share their location when in need of emergency assistance. Nomadic children attend school like other children. Some ride dozens of kilometers to get to class on horseback, while others stay in dormitories specifically for nomadic children. The government also organizes mobile education teams to bring books and materials to communities. Some boarding schools also teach livestock care and climate knowledge to help children understand their environment. Number 2. The beauty of Mongolian women. Mongolian women tended livestock, built tents, traded goods, ran households, and could become shamans or tribal leaders. Compared to medieval European women, Mongolian women had a much higher social status. From a young age, they were proficient in horse riding and archery, and when necessary, they could appear on the battlefield alongside men. Some Chinese chronicles even recorded Mongol women armies who rode horses and shot arrows as well as men. History records prominent figures such as Mandukai Khatun, a 15th century warrior queen who commanded armies and contributed to the unification of Mongolia. In the Altai Mountains, Kazakh girls are also famous for the art of hunting with golden eagles, birds of prey that can easily bring down foxes or rabbits on icy grasslands. Some Kazakh families have passed down eagle hunting as a legacy for dozens of generations. In modern times, Mongolian women tend to be more educated and successful in intellectual professions than men. Mongolian men are mainly associated with animal husbandry, agriculture, and manual labor. A study in Ulaanbaatar found that more than 30% of the workforce had university degrees, while significantly fewer men. Women's social status and independence also make finding a partner more difficult. Statistics show that more than 40% of men aged 15 and over are married, while only about 32% of women are married. Many believe that the difference in thinking between the two sexes is the main reason. Women want to pursue active and modern lives, while many men still hold the traditional view that women should spend time with their families. This has led more and more Mongolian women to turn to international dating apps like Tinder or Bumble to meet men who value respect and equality, especially from the US and Europe. Mongolian women are also attractive, with petite figures, sharp faces, and sometimes blue or green eyes thanks to their Russian or Kazakh ancestry. Some Western photographers have called this the beauty of the cold steppe, a rare combination of Asia and Europe. Number 3. Strange customs of the Mongols. Not bathing for a day or two may be unpleasant for many people, but for the Mongols, not bathing for a month or even several months at a time was considered normal. During the time of Genghis Khan, they believed that water was the abode of the gods. According to that concept, bathing in rivers or streams was considered an act of disturbing the gods and could make them angry. Therefore, during their conquests that spanned thousands of kilometers, Mongol soldiers were not allowed to bathe in natural water sources and rarely changed their clothes. They would just dust themselves off, shake off their lice, and then wear the same clothes until they were completely torn. It may sound unhygienic, but in that culture, body odor was not considered unpleasant, but a sign of personal identity. In fact, a warrior's distinctive odor was considered a respectable trait. Therefore, a general or warrior with a strong body odor was never looked down upon. To this day, Mongolians still bathe less than many other ethnic groups, but this is mainly due to the harsh climate, long winters, and the scarcity of clean water on the steppe. Instead of bathing with water, they use body cleansing methods such as herbal steam baths, frequent changes of clothes, or using smoke to deodorize. Water is an extremely precious resource, so using lakes or streams as toilets is absolutely forbidden. If Mongolians catch anyone polluting the water source, they will react very strongly because it threatens the life of the whole community. Not only water, but fire also has sacred meaning. The hearth is considered the soul of the family, the center of the house, and a symbol of the unity of its members. Therefore, throwing rubbish, especially dirty rubbish or waste into the fire, is considered an act of insulting both the gods and the ancestors. And if you are invited into a traditional tent, there is one thing you absolutely should not do: whistle. Mongolians believe that this sound can call out wandering spirits, evil spirits, or bad omens that bring misfortune to the household. So even if you are having fun, remember to respect this custom. How about you? What is the longest you have ever gone without a bath? Leave a comment and see if anyone can beat the Mongolian record. Number 4. Most hospitable country in the world. The Mongolians are so famous for their hospitality that they sometimes invite their wives or daughters to sleep next to male guests. It may sound unbelievable, but this custom once existed in some remote areas of Mongolia. In the harsh cold of the steppe, if a male guest came at night, the host would offer food and drink, and maybe let a woman in the house lie next to the guest to keep him warm. This action does not have a negative meaning at all, but is considered hospitality at the highest level, because for them, a guest coming to the house is a blessing. Many men hearing this may associate it with an interesting experience, being able to eat and drink, and having a beautiful girl lie next to them. But the reality is completely different from what is portrayed in the movies. Nomads eat a lot of goat meat, rarely bathe, and wear thick layers of clothing. So the atmosphere during these keeping warm moments is sometimes very tense. However, this custom has now almost disappeared and is only found in some small communities that still hold on to the ancient traditions. Mongolian weddings also have many unique rituals. Before the wedding day, the bride's family often teases the groom by letting his horse run away, and the groom's task is to find it. The engagement gifts are also very special: sugar, tea, and seahorse eye bones, all wrapped in a white cloth symbolizing luck, sweetness, and lasting strength. To be officially recognized as the son-in-law, the groom must bring wine to the bride's family 3 times, and each time must be accepted before the wedding can take place. During the ceremony, the groom must split the head of a cooked sheep in half with his bare hands. If he fails to do so, he will be mercilessly teased. In addition, there is a ritual of killing a chicken and examining the liver to predict the future of the marriage. A bright red, large, and smooth liver is a good omen, while a pale or spotted liver is a bad sign. Speaking of marriage, the ancient Mongols had a controversial custom. The youngest son could inherit his father's wife after his father died, with the exception of his own mother. Traditionally, this was a way to ensure that the women in the family were taken care of if they had nowhere else to go. Some even said that the greatest asset the youngest son inherited was not land but his father's wives. So if it were you, would you accept your father's wife or choose another path? Share in the comments, I'd love to know what you think. Number 5. Mongolia eats almost no vegetables. When you arrive in Mongolia, the first thing to prepare for is the lack of vegetables, a common problem in the cuisine here. Mongolians eat almost exclusively meat and dairy products because the extremely cold climate, long winters and short summers make the land unsuitable for farming. Most of the territory is suitable for livestock, and even modern farms can only grow a few cold-resistant vegetables in small quantities. Vegetables in meals are mostly imported or frozen. People live on lamb, beef, horse, and dairy products such as butter, yogurt, and dried cheese. If you like meat, this can be paradise. But vegetarians will have a hard time because there are families that go for months without fresh vegetables. Meat is prepared in many ways: boiled, grilled, dried, or cooked with milk. A particularly popular dish at gatherings is korkog, prepared by putting fresh lamb and red-hot stones in a sealed pot so that the stones retain heat and create a smoky aroma. Some regions also add imported dried onions or ginger for flavor. Sutai salty milk tea is a staple. It consists of strong black tea, cow or horse milk, water, salt, and sometimes butter for an energy boost. There is also sheep eye juice, made from broth or vinegar with a whole sheep eye, which is believed to help sober up. Many families also have a word of mouth saying it improves eyesight, although there is no scientific evidence. Interestingly, Mongolians love ice cream even when the weather can drop tens of degrees below zero. On the streets, ice cream carts still operate in the middle of winter. According to legend, ice cream may have originated from the time when Mongol warriors carried milk and butter in leather bags on the back of their horses, allowing the freezing temperature and shaking to turn the mixture into the first ice cream. Some scholars also believe that the idea may have spread to China and then to Europe. Number 6. When Mongolia dominated the planet. Today, Mongolia is the 19th largest country in the world, with an area of over 1.56 million square kilometers, but only has about 3.3 million people, making it one of the most sparsely populated places on the planet. Looking at this pristine country, it is hard to believe that more than 800 years ago, this very land was the center of an empire that shook the world. At its peak, the Mongol Empire stretched nearly 9,700 kilometers from the Pacific Ocean to Europe, crossing Central Asia and the Middle East. The total area they controlled was estimated at 24 million square kilometers, equivalent to more than 22% of the global land area. To put that into perspective, this territory was larger than present-day Africa. And what surprised many people most was that the Mongols built this giant empire in less than 80 years. Some scholars called it the fastest expansion in human history. Genghis Khan was the one who laid the foundation for the entire feat. He was a military genius with iron discipline and ruthless strategy. With the message of surrender or die, he led 32 major campaigns, won 65 victories, and forced more than 40 countries and 700 peoples to surrender unconditionally. His conquests cost him an estimated 40 million lives, 10% of the world's population. But the strength of one generation does not guarantee the success of his successors. After Genghis Khan's death, the empire was divided into many different regions. His descendants continued to expand the territory, but gradually revealed a lack of unity and sharp leadership like their ancestors. Civil wars among their descendants also contributed to the weakening of the whole system. A typical example is the 3 invasions of Dai Viet in the 13th century. Although a small country with an area only 1/10 of the empire, Dai Viet defeated the Mongols all 3 times. Not only in Southeast Asia, many lands once ruled by Mongols, such as the Middle East and Eastern Europe, also rose up to regain independence. This resistance caused the empire to begin to disintegrate from within. The empire that once stretched across 3 continents quickly became a loose system that was difficult to control. Over time, vast territories were divided, overthrown, or separated from the central power. In the end, the empire that once terrified the world declined, leaving today's Mongolia, a small, rugged, and sparsely populated country in the middle of the vast steppe. But their influence is still present in the genetics, culture, and history of dozens of peoples across Eurasia. Number 7. Mongolia's wealth paradox. Mongolia is considered one of the world's mineral treasures, but paradoxically, most of its people still live in poverty. Despite possessing more than 80 different types of minerals and being among the countries with the largest reserves of rare earths in the world, the country has not been able to exploit its huge resources effectively. Here is the Oyu Tolgoi mine, one of the largest gold and copper mines on the planet. This mine plays an extremely important role in the Mongolian economy, contributing greatly to exports, GDP, and attracting international investment. But apart from large projects like Oyu Tolgoi, most of the other mineral potential has not been exploited due to the lack of modern technology, skilled human resources, and too high mining costs. As a result, mining revenue cannot raise people's living standards, industry remains slow to develop, and agriculture faces many difficulties. The harsh climate makes farming almost impossible. Livestock farming, the mainstay of the steppe population, is threatened by desertification, declining pastures, and increasingly scarce water resources. As a result, Mongolia's economy remains very small, with an annual GDP of only about $20 billion, far below that of Inner Mongolia, which has a GDP exceeding $50 billion. Lack of employment opportunities, low incomes, and difficult living conditions have led to a number of social problems. One of the most worrying consequences is that many women resort to unsafe work, including commercial sex work, to survive. An estimated 19,000 women work in this sector, mainly in mining areas where thousands of male workers are concentrated, but social services are lacking and there is a lack of strict management. Such conditions easily create an environment for crime, violence, and the spread of sexually transmitted diseases. Mongolia has even become a transit point for international human trafficking rings, sending women and children to countries such as China, South Korea, and others. Many victims are lured by promises of high wages and easy work, only to fall into the trap of forced labor or sexual exploitation. Number 8. The strangest traffic rules in Mongolia. The first thing that catches your eye when you arrive is the strange mix of left-hand and right-hand drive cars traveling on the same lane. This is because the country imports a lot of used cars from many places, especially Japan and Korea. Toyota Prius models are so common that people jokingly call Mongolia the Prius Kingdom. Many suburban roads even look like a mobile Prius exhibition. Although cars have become popular, horses and camels are still the main means of transportation on the steppe. The locals make full use of the available resources, following their long-standing nomadic tradition. It is not uncommon for a new SUV to stop because a few horses are leisurely walking on a dirt road in the middle of a vast grassland. In some areas, children even ride horses to school every day. When you leave Ulaanbaatar, you will notice that asphalt roads only exist on a few main traffic routes. Much of the rest is still dirt or gravel, which is understandable given the vastness of the area and the low population density. It is almost impossible to pave the entire road system economically. However, most dirt roads are still relatively flat, except on rainy days when mud makes driving difficult. In winter, some roads can disappear completely under heavy snow, forcing drivers to navigate by previous tire tracks. If you plan to drive yourself around the country, you will need to be well prepared. Always keep your fuel tank full and carry extra cans, as many stretches of road stretch for hundreds of kilometers without gas stations or rest stops. Road signs are rare and there are no road markings, so you will have to rely entirely on maps and GPS. If you run out of fuel and get lost in the steppe, your only option is to wait for another car to pass. Many local drivers even carry radios to listen for sandstorm or snowstorm warnings. Despite Mongolia's sparse population, road accidents are common in the countryside. Speeding on dirt roads is a major cause, combined with an unclear transportation system. Extreme weather conditions such as sandstorms, snowstorms, and icy roads in the winter make driving extremely risky. In some areas, strong winds have been known to flip over light trucks, making winter travel even more dangerous. Number 9. The coldest capital in the world. Ulaanbaatar, located in central Mongolia, is both the capital and largest city of the country. The city is located at an altitude of about 1,250 meters above sea level and stretches along the Tul River, which flows north to join the Selenge system that flows into Russia. Not far from the city center is Bogd Khan Mountain, about 2,650 meters high, a sacred mountain covered in natural forest. It is one of the oldest protected areas in the world, protected since the 18th century, and forms a natural boundary between the dry steppe to the south and the cool steppe forest to the north. Today, Bogd Khan is also a popular weekend trekking destination for locals. Due to its high location, deep in the Eurasian continent and strong influence of the Siberian high pressure, Ulaanbaatar is known as the coldest capital in the world. The city's climate is similar to much of the southern Arctic, with short but pleasant summers and long, dry, harsh winters. In January, temperatures can drop to -36 to -40 degrees Celsius, and in the early morning, before the sun rises, the cold air trapped close to the ground makes the cold even more bitter. On such days, schools may even close because it is too cold for students to move. Although it is Mongolia's most modern city, Ulaanbaatar still retains its traditional nomadic culture in the heart of the city. You can easily come across traditional tents between high-rise apartment buildings or near public buildings. In the suburbs, large tents spread out, creating a scene similar to vast summer camps. Many families still choose to live in tents instead of moving into permanent houses, believing this way of life is closer to their ancestors. Throughout the city, you will see images of Genghis Khan on every corner, from central squares, museums, government offices, to small shops in residential areas. His portrait appears on banknotes, souvenirs, wall paintings, carpets, drinking cups, and many other everyday items. His presence in people's lives reflects a deep pride in history. The clearest evidence is that Mongolia spent more than $4 million to build a giant 40-meter-high steel statue of him on horseback, located in a large museum. This statue is the most visited tourist attraction near the capital and is the site of many traditional festivals. Number 10. Unique Festival. The traditional Mongolian New Year is called Sagansar, or White Month. It is the biggest and most important holiday of the year, usually in February, marking the transition to a new and hopeful beginning. Although Mongolia is located in Asia, its New Year customs are significantly different from many of its neighbors. While many cultures favor bright colors to welcome the new year, Mongolians favor white. During the 3-day festival, they wear traditional white clothes, give white gifts, ride white horses, and eat white New Year dishes made from dairy products. In Mongolian culture, white is a symbol of purity, luck, and a good start. If you are invited to a Mongolian family during the new year, you will be warmly welcomed. The eldest person in the family usually prepares a traditional meal of milk tea and steamed buns, which symbolizes prosperity and harmony in the new year. However, the ritual of offering wine in Sagansar is very special. When visiting someone's house, you must bow to the altar, then make a formal greeting to the eldest person. When the host offers you a glass of wine, you will not sit down until the ceremony is complete, and you are expected to drink it all. Before leaving, you will receive a small gift such as candy, chocolate, clothes, or household items. When receiving a gift, you must use both hands to show respect and gratitude. Besides Sagansar, Mongolia also has a vibrant cultural festival called Nadam, which takes place in July. This is a traditional sporting event with a strong national identity, often likened to the Olympics of the steppe. The festival focuses on 3 ancient sports: horse racing, archery, and wrestling. A special feature of Nadam is that there is no age limit for participants. In horse races, even children from 6 to 13 years old can compete. The race takes place on vast steppes and can be up to 30 kilometers long, requiring outstanding skills and endurance. In archery, traditional techniques are combined with modern precision, recreating the image of famous nomadic archers. As for wrestling, the interesting thing is that there are no weight classes applied, leading to unexpected matches where a smaller gladiator can defeat a much larger opponent, bringing a lively and dramatic atmosphere to the audience. Number 11. Nightlife in Mongolia. When night falls, the pace of life in Mongolia changes dramatically, especially in the capital Ulaanbaatar. The city seems to have 2 contrasting personalities. The center is bustling with bars, clubs, and pubs that operate until dawn, while the outskirts are quiet with residential areas where people still live in traditional tents. In the center, many entertainment clubs stay open all night, attracting young people who love EDM, hip-hop, dance, and rock. Some venues also invite international DJs, creating a more vibrant atmosphere. In addition, many Western-style bars serve imported beer, cocktails, and have stages for live music performances. Notably, some clubs combine modern music with traditional cultural performances, creating a unique experience for visitors and residents. When it comes to night food, Ulaanbaatar is also very diverse. Along the main streets, especially around Sukhbaatar Square, many food stalls operate late into the night. The most popular dishes include booze, kushur, and various hot red meat soups. Many roadside stalls also serve Russian-style kebabs, which are grilled on the spot. Alcohol is an important part of Mongolian nightlife. Vodka is a popular drink at parties, while many still enjoy airog, a traditional drink made from fermented mare's milk. Airog is especially popular in tent communities or in local restaurants. For nomadic families, airog is part of the evening, often enjoyed with jerky and salty milk tea. If you don't like the noise, Ulaanbaatar still has plenty of quiet options. Some cafes stay open late, serving tea, coffee, cakes, and free Wi-Fi. The city also has a small library and reading area that is open at night, serving students and working people. For those who prefer the outdoors, Sukhbaatar Square and the area near the Tul River are ideal places for evening strolls or conversations. Despite being Mongolia's most developed city, nightlife in the suburbs remains simple. Many families live in tents, gathering around fires, cooking, chatting, and preparing for the next day. Not all homes in these areas have electricity, so kerosene lamps or solar lamps are the main source of light at night. Number 12. The Unsolved Mysteries of Mongolia. In the far north of Mongolia, near the Sayan Mountains, there is a lake called Kovsgol Nuur. Locals have given it a creepy nickname, Cannibal Lake. Located deep in a remote mountain range, the lake is not famous for its beauty, but for a series of mysterious disappearances that have been recorded over the decades. Many believe that anyone who dives or rows into the middle of the lake never returns. Several Soviet-era survey teams have documented this phenomenon, but no investigation has found clear traces of the disappeared. One theory is that the bottom of the lake contains unusually deep holes that create powerful whirlpools that can suck everything down without leaving a trace. Others believe that underground cave systems may connect to larger rivers, carrying the missing far away. However, locals believe that the lake is ruled by a spirit, and that anyone who trespasses will be dragged to the bottom forever. What is puzzling is that even with modern scanning equipment, rescue teams have not found anything unusual under the calm surface of the water. These stories, legends, and fragmentary records add to the mystery surrounding Lake Kovsgol. If you travel west, you will reach the majestic Altai Mountains, where there is a land known to the locals as the Khitan Valley of Death. This place is located near the intersection of Mongolia, Russia, and China, possessing rugged terrain, high altitudes, harsh weather conditions, and strong winds all year round. For decades, countless reports have been told of hunters, herders, or tourists disappearing in this area. When the bodies are discovered, they are often dry and dehydrated, but there is no sign of animal attack. The scant records from the 19th century also fail to explain this strange phenomenon. Some researchers speculate that poisonous gases such as methane or sulfur may have escaped from underground cracks, causing victims to lose consciousness and die quickly. However, this does not explain the severe dehydration of the bodies. According to local legend, the valley breathes the breath of mountain demons, and anyone who enters could lose their soul. Several research teams have brought specialized equipment to test for toxic gases, but the results always recorded normal atmospheric levels. This only deepens the mystery, making Death Valley one of Mongolia's most terrifying and inexplicable places. Number 13. Mongolia's Hidden Wonders. One of Mongolia's most prominent destinations is the Gobi Desert in the south, one of Asia's largest deserts, stretching over 1,600 kilometers. The Gobi is not just sand, but also a mix of rocky hills, dry grasslands, and even glacial valleys hidden deep in the desert. Visitors can ride camels over sand dunes, into the Ulaanbaatar Valley to see ice in the summer, or go to Bayanzag, famous for its dinosaur fossils. Many paleontologists call Bayanzag dinosaur paradise because the first dinosaur egg of the 20th century was discovered here. Further west is Lake Kovsgol, also known as the Blue Pearl of Mongolia. This is one of the deepest freshwater lakes in the world, over 130 kilometers long and located close to the Russian border. The water is so clear that you can see all the way to the bottom. The lake is ideal for boating, fishing, horse riding, and camping. In winter, the lake freezes over, allowing for festivals such as toboggan races and ice parades. Many believe that on winter nights, the lake reflects the sky so clearly that the Milky Way can be seen. For those interested in history, the Orkhon Valley is an important destination. It was once the center of many nomadic empires and still contains the ruins of Karakorum, the ancient capital of Genghis Khan. Next to it is the Erdene Zu Monastery, Mongolia's oldest Tibetan Buddhist monastery, surrounded by a white wall nearly 400 meters long. Some scholars believe that Orkhon once connected with major branches of the Silk Road. About 70 kilometers from the capital is Turelj National Park, famous for its natural rock formations such as Turtle Rock. It has wildflower fields, clear streams, and nomadic camps that allow visitors to experience indigenous life. Popular activities include horse riding, trekking, canoeing, and tasting fermented mare's milk. Each spring, Turelj also hosts traditional youth horse riding festivals. Further west are the Altai Mountains, with peaks over 4,000 meters and large glaciers. The region is home to the Kazakh people, famous for their eagle hunting. Visitors can attend the Autumn Eagle Festival, where hunters and birds of prey show off their skills. It is also a prime trekking area, with routes through valleys, glaciers, and alpine meadows. Some routes have been compared to the famous trekking trails of Nepal for their challenge and majestic scenery. Number 14. The cost of living in Mongolia. Although Ulaanbaatar is the capital of Mongolia, The cost of living here is still more affordable than many major cities in the world. A comfortable apartment will usually cost around $300 to $450 per month. If you choose to live further away from the center and immerse yourself in the peaceful rural life, the price is even lower, only $150 to $250. Traditional cuisine also contributes to making daily life not too expensive. For just $3 to $5, you can enjoy a full local meal at a local restaurant, from tender grilled lamb to hot dumplings and yogurt dishes. If you prefer to cook for yourself, the cost of food such as vegetables, meat, and grains at the local market will be around $150 to $200 per month. Public transportation is also very economical. Bus tickets cost as little as 0 baht 20 saur to 0 baht 30 thaler, while the widely used city vans can take you hundreds of kilometers for just $10 to $15, much cheaper than owning your own car. Even utilities are affordable. Electricity, water, and internet costs generally total around $60 to $80 per month. High-speed internet, in particular, is just under $25 per month, despite Mongolia's vast geography and many remote areas. Overall, a frugal lifestyle in Ulaanbaatar typically requires only $600 to $800 per month. Number 15. Tip that tourists should know. One thing that surprises many visitors when they arrive in Mongolia is the large temperature changes in the same day. In the morning, the air can be only about 8 degrees Celsius, then quickly increase to nearly 25 degrees Celsius at noon, then drop sharply in the evening, making you shiver from the cold. This fluctuation not only appears on the steppe, but also in Ulaanbaatar. You can feel it very clearly. Therefore, you will need to prepare many layers of clothes so that you can take off or add depending on the weather changes during the day. Another thing that confuses visitors is that the public transportation system here is quite simple and sometimes difficult to understand for foreigners. Most bus routes are not written in English, and drivers often do not speak international languages. That means if you do not know Mongolian, finding your way can be difficult. A useful tip is to download offline maps and save important locations such as hotels or bus stations so you can show them to locals if you need help. Mongolia is a large country with much of its territory uninhabited, so infrastructure is limited. Travel between regions can stretch for hundreds of kilometers without any stops. This means you should prepare more water and snacks than on trips in Europe or Southeast Asia. Some travelers have only brought a few bottles of water and endured the entire 5-hour journey thirsty and tired. Mongolian cuisine is very typical, but relies heavily on red meat such as lamb or beef. Green vegetables are rare and often expensive because they are imported or grown in greenhouses. If you are used to eating a lot of vegetables, you might consider bringing a multivitamin or buying salad and fruit at large supermarkets in Ulaanbaatar before heading into the countryside. This helps to avoid negative reactions to eating a lot of meat in a short period of time. Finally, there is the issue of internet. Surprisingly, Mongolia offers reliable and affordable internet, especially in the capital. But when you leave the city, mobile signal can weaken or disappear completely. If you plan to rely on online maps or need to be in constant contact, inform your family in advance and be sure to download offline maps to avoid getting lost in the vast steppe without signal. And that concludes 15 interesting facts about Mongolia. We hope these insights have given you a fresh perspective on this wonderful country. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming adventures. Which fact is most impressive to you? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. This information is for reference only, so please do your own research before making any decisions.